For my final end of the year project, I decided to do WALL-E because I already have the movie pretty much memorized, and WALL-E's kind of like a futuristic love story with a twist of sociology terms. And the whole movie kind of concentrates on Earth kind of met its capacity, and they had to move on to space because of all the trash, and they just made the conditions like so unlivable. So the whole storyline is pretty much a robot, and he finds like a plant. So obviously like Earth is sustainable now, and then another robot, Eve, she comes in and she's looking for the plant. Pretty much the movie just follows WALL-E trying to get Eve back, and both of them trying to get the plant to the captain because Autopilot doesn't want to return back to Earth because of a video that the president had sent saying that it was just a failure and they couldn't clean up, and it was just ultimately too much trash in the world. They were just gonna have to stay on their route in space. So the main thing in WALL-E was technology and its impact on human society. With the growing technology, they made too many products and had too much trash, and ultimately that was the major problem. Another effect of technology on the society in WALL-E was its manifest destiny was to make living easier. Like in today's society, a cell phone, we should be able to talk and maybe text, and now we can play video games on our phone, and we can FaceTime and all other stuff we don't really need, but it's on there. Those are the latent functions, and just like in WALL-E, you see at the beginning of the movie all this stuff that's still working. They didn't need that. And also another effect of technology on the human society was there wasn't any economic competition. Throughout the whole movie, all you see is by and large, through the banks, even the Axiom, any food, political, it was on the little podium when the president was speaking in the video. Everything is by and large. There's really no competition in that. That's pretty much just how the whole movie is. The technology and all the different robots, it seemed that throughout, with the introduction of more and more technology, more sociological terms were found throughout the movie. An example is deviance. The robots have a certain job, and sometimes they knew they wanted to do something else. When Bernie, the little typing guy, WALL-E waves to him in the elevator, and he kind of looks at his hand and like makes it move because he didn't really know he could do that before. And then Mo, the little cleaning guy, he is on the line, and he sees WALL-E, and he stops on the line when all the other robots keep going, and he kind of like gets really hesitant, and then he gets ready to jump off the line. And that was an act of deviance, but nothing happened, so that would be primary. It made a little buzzer noise, but he didn't get in trouble, and he wasn't really labeled a deviant. So he goes off to follow WALL-E, who's trying to get Eve back. Their impact on society was the chairs, the hover chairs, as you can see in the captain's bedroom, where it had all the pictures of the captains throughout all the years. It went from, like normal, like us, and then it kind of switched to like cartoon, which, that was part of the movie, but the whole point of the cartoon was saying they're just getting fatter and fatter, and gravity kind of took its toll on them for being in space so long. Every single person is in a hover chair. You don't see anyone in the hover chair. When for the commercial, it was just the grandma. But everyone's in hover chairs, and all the hover chairs was when Mary's in Wally's way. Wally's trying to get to Eve on the little space shuttle, and he turns off her video thing, and so she's, I mean, that's probably the first time she wasn't watching that thing. But later on, she's like, we have a swimming pool? They don't even know what's around them. They're on a huge ship, and it's probably, could be a lot of fun, but they're in those hover chairs, and they don't know what's around them, because that's what technology has even done to them. Another example is all the babies, when they're learning and the robot's teaching them, and it's on a computer screen, and it's like A is for axiom, B is for by and large. Like, that's not like an elephant, like E or F or a flamingo. That's not traditional, and technology is already, it starts early, and I think that's the point they were trying to prove. You see a little kid, I work at the field house, and I saw a little kid bring his DS onto the field for soccer practice, and I told the mom that he needed to get it off. Because you're at soccer practice, you don't need to be on your DS. You don't need to be on your phone, like, it's already changing, and so it's a big, big difference. Also, they're drinking, like, smoothies. I mean, obviously, technology is kind of like just putting food into a cup, and that's all they drink, which can't be healthy. And I doubt they're eating like broccoli smoothies, because that's gross. And so that's another thing that technology kind of like rid away with, like regular food. It's probably easier to make food in just to a cup. That's probably where all that technology like kind of just powered that into regular society. Another thing is those video things, those video like head gears, when Wally's like following Eve and he sees this guy and he's talking on a monitor and the guy's right next to him, and Wally's kind of like, that's not okay. And technology kind of rid away with just regular human interaction, which we already see today. Most people can't even talk to another person unless they're texting or they're on the phone. It's gonna get worse, and honestly, this whole movie is kind of a representation of what might happen if we don't change our views. And I think it's a really complex like kids movie if you think about it. There's a lot of different stuff going on, and for a kids movie, it's a really like unique idea that they did, and I'm glad they did it into a kids movie, because future generations need to know that we have to change our ways or this might happen. I would just like to apologize. God, I said 51 times in this video, and I said like 20 times. So I'm gonna work on that, and I hope you have a great summer, and I hope I get a good grade on this.